Mark Sapsford. Welcome to Trading for Beginners Part 5. In the previous part you would have had an introduction to trading the markets, what a pit is, how we trade in currency pairs, how price action works, what the charts show you, the time frames we trade, various indicators, risk management. And in this part 5, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we put all that together and how we can create a strategy. Now, a strategy is very simply a set of rules that you would use to get in and out of the market. So it can be something as simple as when price moves 20 pips up, we sell. When price moves 20 pips down, we buy. Something as simple as that. But we do use other indicators to create strategies. We can use moving averages, we can use Bollinger Bands. But in layman's terms, a strategy is something that you use day in, day out as a rule to determine when you get in and where you get out. Trading is all about doing what you need to do and when you need to do it. Now, I'm also going to show you today how we put that into ATS by Trading Sites powered by Tekton. So what is ATS, I hear you say? Well, ATS is a platform that we have created that's free to use, and it's very simple, and it serves three purposes. The first purpose is it will allow anybody to create their own strategy using all the various built-in indicators, and you can create a simple strategy in under 1 minute. You can then backtest that strategy on whatever currency pairs you wish to trade it, on whatever time frames you wish to trade up to, from 1 minute up to an hour, and it will go up to 4 hours and dailies and beyond eventually, and other instruments. An instrument is obviously other commodities, equities, indices, etc. So the first thing is you can create a strategy. You can then backtest that strategy, and you can also then set it to run live. So what are the benefits of that, I hear you say? So the benefits are very simple. Most traders in the world, retail traders that trade from home, trade what we call manually, where they're sitting in front of their charts, looking for opportunities and hoping they set up while they're awake and while they're watching. As opposed to this, which will trade any time of the day for you, whether you're awake or asleep or doing something else. The other benefit, of course, is that a lot of people over the years have tried to automate trading, buying indicators, buying signals, which cost money on a subscription basis. An automated strategy can cost money to code if you don't know how to do it yourself. If you do know how to do it yourself, you still got to spend the time to code it, and it can take a long time to code just one strategy. So the benefits of ATS are huge. Firstly, as I say, you can create your strategy in under a minute, or set of different strategies in under a minute. You can then backtest it. The backtesting engine is very fast. It takes about 1.5 minutes to backtest over a 2-year period, and then you can set it to run live. And in part 6 next week, I'm going to show you how we set a strategy to run live once we've backtested it and created it. And then I'm going to show you how it does automate live with a real trade in front of you on a real account that's been set up by ATS by Trading Sites. So I look forward to getting your feedback. Part 5 is to follow, shows you exactly what I've described previously, and I look forward to receiving your feedback. Remember to click that notification button and get notified on all the great new material we send as we create it moving forward. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Hi everybody, welcome to Trading for Beginners Part 5. In this part, I'm going to be introducing to you ATS by Trading Sites powered by Tekton, and how we get from looking at price action like we see here, how we can then build a strategy, and then how we can then enter that into ATS by Trading Sites, and then eventually back test it to see how successful it would have been over whatever period we want to test it. So as you can see here, we're looking at this, and we can see we're looking at a 1 minute time frame, M1 on euro dollar, and as you can see, since this morning, euro dollar has been falling. As you can see, we zoom out a little bit, it's been falling quite a bit. So that in essence is, then if we look at a daily chart, we can see that on a daily chart, the move we've just looked at relates to this move here. So that's understanding a little bit more about time frames. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I look at a strategy. Now obviously I want to capitalize on moves in the marketplace. We spoke briefly in the past on a previous episode about moving averages. So let's put this now on to say a 15-minute time frame. Okay, and let's put on a couple of moving averages. So let's put on a 50 moving average. Okay, so put a 50 moving average on and we'll color it red. And let's put a 200 moving average on and color that yellow. So what we can do now is you can see what tends to happen when these things interact with each other. And that's literally a simple strategy, okay? So as you can see, if we just zoom out a little bit here, okay, the moving average crossed here back on the 14th of October, and that would have been a lovely trade to take. As you can see, it's moved all the way up. Now what's happened, of course, now is that trade would have been finished, and now we've got potential of the moving averages crossing to the downside again, and then therefore price to fall. So if you look at this, okay, when these moving averages do cross, you tend to see some strong moves in certain directions. Look at that one there, look at this one here, and so on. Now it doesn't happen every time, but what we can do is we can use this knowledge that when moving averages cross like so, we can create a strategy that will benefit us. Now, for example, this one here crossed, early hours of the morning. So that would have been one where you probably weren't going to be in front of your screen. So we can look at some others here. This one was probably in the afternoon. This one again was in the early hours of the day. So having the ability to be able to trade these automatically, or have them traded for you by a system. The system I talk about, of course, is ATS, is such a bonus. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log into ATS by Trade Insights, and I'm going to show you very simply how I can replicate this strategy here very swiftly, very quickly into ATS, and then show you how to backtest it. And then in the final video of the series, I'm then going to show you how we set it all to run live, and we'll do a recap of everything. So I'm going to test this on a 15-minute time frame, and I'm also going to test it on a 30-minute time frame, because on a 30-minute time frame, as you can see, we get some really good strong moves, okay? And the 30-minute time frame hasn't actually crossed, or isn't looking like it's crossed yet. We could also look at maybe a 5-minute time frame, which it's just crossed. So as you can see, sometimes a 5-minute time frame gives us the move a little bit earlier. So we can test this on a 5-minute, we can test this on a 15-minute, and we can also test this on a 30-minute. And let me show you how that works. So I'm going to go to my ATS platform. Here it is. Okay, so ATS powered by Tekton. I'm going to log into the account. I get the standard risk warning, and here we go. Okay, so here we go. Here's the standard entry screen. I've now got some strategies running. We can see we've got some strategies running, but I'm going to create a new one now. So I click Create New Strategy. This is the platform where you've got my strategies. You've got a whole list of strategies that are running or in draft mode or have stopped, and it gives you a running total of where they're at right now. So this particular strategy set is 265 pips to the good. But I'm going to just create a new one. So I'm going to create a new strategy. Okay, it's on euro dollar. So if we wanted to change that, we could simply change that by looking here. And as we add other instruments, other equities, indices, commodities, etc., crypto, that sort of thing, as we add that to our offering, what that will do, that will add that to the list. So at the moment it's set to euro dollar, and we'll set it to a 5-minute time frame. So what we're going to do now is create the strategy that whenever the 50 moving average crosses the 200, what tends to happen. Now, although that's going to happen more frequently, when it does move, it does move and looks like gives us good positive runs. But let's test it anyway. But let me show you how easy it is to create that. So the first thing we do, we've got the euro dollar set up. We've got Add Algorithm. So we click Add Algorithm, and the algorithm is pre-populated in here. So as we can write each condition, which is very simple, it completes the complete algorithm along here. It starts off with if, So if moving average, so we're using this drop down menu to set moving average, and number is 50. And remember, there are different types of moving average, so we're using EMA. If the 50 moving average is starting to be completed, now we've got the compare function, which is the instruction, crosses above, so we've got all the different options here, crosses above the 200 moving average, apply. The action is to buy, because it's crossing up, and that has written our open buy condition. So that's now written the condition of, let's get a better example, that move there. So when the 50 crosses above the 200, every time that's happened in the last couple of years, what the result would have been. But we've just written the condition for now. Now what I want to do is I want to do the reverse condition, which is the sell. So it's add algorithm if, again, same moving average, if moving average 200, this time crosses below moving average 200. Sorry, I need to just go back one step. If moving average 50, it's a beautiful thing about this is you can just step back if you make a mistake. So if moving average 50 crosses below this time moving average 200, it's that simple to do this, to create this. Then the action, and if you wanted to add another condition, you could. Action is to sell, and click confirm. And that's created that. That's created the buy condition, and it's created the sell condition. So now that's created these conditions every time these moving averages cross above or below each other. And you don't just have to use 50 and 200, you can use anything you like. If you notice on the indicators, you have a whole list of indicators you can use. That's the beautiful thing about this system, is we're adding indicators to it all of the time. All that we need to do now is risk manage this. So I'm going to keep the CFD size as 1. Remember we did the risk management earlier on the earlier video. The trade size we'll just keep as 1 because we're just going to back test. I'm going to put this at 21 pips, and I'm going to put this at 63 pips. Okay, so that's a 3-to-1 reward to risk. Okay, so that's created. I now need to save it. Okay, I'm going to call it EMA cross. EMA cross. And now that's completed the strategy. We've got the 2 conditions. We've got the risk management here. Don't worry too much about this. This is for when you want to put a target on the overall system. I'll cover more on that when we actually come to do the final video. And we now need to run test. So we're going to run it on euro dollar on a 5-minute time frame. So we click run test. And up comes the options to what we want to do. Do we want to run it over all data or specific days? So you can actually back test this over a specific period or over all data. So if you wanted to do, say, 3 months, you can put the start and end date here. If you wanted to test all data, you could, and then simply run the test. Okay. So just to zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit more detail. So click run test. And what that's now doing is that's now using our inbuilt search engine and searching through all of the data that we have for trading data and price action over the last 2 years, beginning of 2017, so almost 3 years now. And what would have happened once that would have been, those conditions would have been met. Now, while we're waiting for that, just a word of about these strategies that we've created here, that you saw me create here. What I did here, which took about a minute on each condition, would take a quant, and a quant is a coder or a developer, a week to create. You can get this coded So you can get something like this coded and then plug it into a trading platform. But the problem is, if you get something coded, it takes time, it costs money, and then when it's plugged into the broker platform you're using, you never know if the broker can see your algorithm and then trade against you. So by creating these algorithms like this, A, it's free to use, B, it doesn't take any time, as you've seen, and C, it doesn't sit in your broker platform. Because what happens is, every time these conditions are met, once we run this live, we'll just trigger a trade on this area here. The broker can't see your signal. All the broker can see is the signal from ATS to say place the trade. So it's that intuitive, okay? So we can see by just looking away for a split second, we've got a result. Okay, we've got a result here, and our result is 714 pips of profit. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to show you the equity chart on that. So as you can see, it's all green. It had a bit of a pullback here, but then it's had a bit of a good growth there. But I'm not going to be too worried about that, because what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm going to test this on a different time frame. Okay, if you want to look at all the trades, you can. All the trades appear at the bottom here. So a 63 pip win or a 21 pip loss. So you can see, you know, overall it made money. It was a profitable system. But you know, you might want to just revise it a little bit. So let's revise it to say a 15-minute time frame. We simply drop down the menu here to 15 minutes and we rerun the test, and that's all we do. So now what that's doing is that's actually testing this particular strategy, but on a 15-minute time frame. So there will be less trades, because the moving averages cross less times on a 15-minute time frame. So we'll see the result it gives us. But you know, for those of you that are looking to get into trading, this is a really simple and easy way to do it. Once you've watched our full 6 sets of videos, you know, you'll be able to use ATS by Trading Sites. We have videos on how to use it. We have videos on strategies. We've got everything for you, and we're not charging anything for you to use ATS by Trading Sites. So we're just waiting for the result on the 15-minute time frame. What it does do is it keeps a history of all your tests. So if you are a little bit forgetful, like I can be sometimes, all of your history of tests are stored here. So you'd click this area here and it would come up with all of the history of the tests you've done on this particular strategy that you've created. How good is that? So it's really, really intuitive but easy to use system. So it takes about a minute or two to back test, and again, back testing traditionally, for those of you that know about back testing, can take anything from hours and hours up to more just for an hour or two's of data. So this is a very, very swift and very intuitive back test. Okay, we've now got a result. We've got 819 pips. So we've got a good result. Let's look at the equity curve on this. Okay, so the equity curve, as you can see, is a little bit stronger on this. So there's no reason why you couldn't run both of these systems. So it would take a 5-minute chart and a 15-minute chart as well, and you could run both of these and you would have made money on both of them. So let's just now go to a different scale and now test. If we just look at the history of all tests, by the way, we can see both of these here. Now let's test it on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, so let's just come out of here. 30-minute time frame, run test. So it's now going to run the same test, the same strategy, but this time on a 30-minute time frame. So that's now going to run this particular system on a 30-minute time frame and see what the results would have been. But testing it on a 5 and a 15 minutes so far on euro dollar is proven to be quite a fruitful and quite a positive strategy. So we're just waiting for this to give our result. As we know, it takes about a minute or minute and a half, which is rapid for a back test. You can change your pip size if you want. You can increase it to 5-1, or you can lower it to 2-1 if you want to get more trades in. You can run it on different currency pairs. So in a moment, I'll just test it on another currency pair, just to show you that, you know, if you do test on other pairs, you can get some negative results as well. So it's all about having the ability to create. It's having the ability to backtest, and if you're happy to run live, or to actually adapt the strategy on another pair to see how good it was on another currency pair. You can test it on all currency pairs, and I would say that take you about half an hour, and then you can decide which ones to run. I don't know if you remember at the beginning when we looked at this system that I've got on this account. It's running about 4 or 5 different strategies, all on different pairs. It's the same strategy but running on different pairs, so it gives you the ability to do that as well. So we have a result. Currently we've got 714 and 800 plus pips, and this one, and look at this, has given us 1,155 pips. So if you've got 3 good strong back tests like that and good strong equity curves, look at that. You could run this, you could run all 3 of these strategies on the marketplace. They're all 3-to-1 reward to risk, so they're all designed to give you a good return. When you lose small, but when you win bigger. Just to avoid any doubt, let's just quickly check another currency pair. So let's check Aussie CAD. So we're now going to do the same system, but on Aussie CAD. So we're now going to go to Aussie CAD, which is this currency pair here. And we're now going to check. Now Aussie CAD, as you can see, is a little bit more sideways, so I expect it not to be as successful. You know, the Aussie CAD pair itself inherently has less extremes, less volatility, less liquidity. So I would expect this to maybe not give us a stronger result. May even give us a negative result. So, but all we're doing here is we're just giving ourselves the ability to create strategies. Now, I've been offered algorithmic systems. I've been offered signal packs. An algorithm system I was offered even today for a one-off license was $3,999, and they were giving me a strategy with that. Now, I was in essence what I was doing. I was buying a license to use a platform with a strategy built into it. Now, how do I know that strategy works? I've been offered signals. I've been offered every day on WhatsApp. I get messages. Would you like to buy our trading signals? Now, how do I know they work? So the beautiful thing is this is free to use. It doesn't take huge amounts of time. And most importantly, you take control. So this one here, let's look at the results. Look at this. So this has given us a negative result, almost break even over a couple of years. There's our equity curve. Okay. So it actually would have made profit this year. So if we back tested for the last, say, 3 or 4 months, it would have actually been a profitable system. So just let's check another currency pair random, so we can maybe check. Let's check Kiwi dollar, US dollar. And let's run that back test on there. So what you're seeing is a very simple, very intuitive system that will take the strain out of trading for you. And when we look at the 6th and final part next week, I'm going to show you how the system then will automatically trade for you. We're going to show you, I'll set up a strategy next week that actually is a fast algorithm, so you can actually see it from conception of the strategy to creation of the strategy to start trading it using the button, and then the execution on the trading platform itself to show you the full thing. And what we'll do then is we'll do a recap next week on everything we've covered so far. So we'll just wait for this result to come through. We're now using Kiwi dollar, US dollar. So now what we're doing is we're using this particular currency pair here. So Kiwi dollar, US dollar. Okay, a little bit more, as you can see, a little bit more volatility. So it's not as sideways as the Aussie CAD option. So let's just wait for the results to come in, and we'll see what's what. And the results should be in any second now. It takes about, about a minute and a half to do. And although the minute and a half does seem like the longest minute and a half you ever are waiting for, but it's like waiting for a kettle to boil. But we'll wait for the result and we'll see what the result is. Shouldn't be that much longer at all. All depends on your internet connection as well, okay? The internet connection here in South Africa, where I am at the moment, sometimes can be a little bit slow. Although I'm in our office in Johannesburg in Nelson Mandela Square, we have got a strong Wi-Fi, but occasionally you do get patches where the Wi-Fi does go a little bit slow, which can delay your back testing a little bit. If it does time out, it will time out, and then we can just try again. This one looks like it's actually just taken a little bit longer to actually get going. But they do take a while sometimes, depending on your internet connection. And it may be, and I'm looking at my internet connection now, and it's actually gone down to just 2 bars on there. But we've got a result. It took a little bit longer, but nevertheless, with 2 bars of Wi-Fi, it still gave me a result. Now, if you look at this one gave us 756 pips of profit. So this one here is a good positive return on a 30-minute chart. Let's look at the equity curve of the trading chart, the trading account. And look at that. So for the first period from the February 2017 to August 2018, it broke even. It was almost break even. But then from the August 2018 to pretty much today, that's had a very good strong return. So most of this profit here was in this area here. That's the beautiful thing about having the equity curve. So you can actually see where your profit came from. So we'll just do one more back test, and we'll do it on another currency pair, and then we'll close this video off. So let's choose dollar Swiss, okay? Dollar Swiss, Swissy. The dollar, US dollar, against the Swiss franc. 2 big powerhouses in the currency world. So let's see what happens when we back test this on the 30-minute time frame. Remember, you can trade this on any time frame, anything from 1 minute up to 1 hour. We are adding other hours to it, the 4 hours and a daily to it as well. So we're just waiting for the result, and we take it from there. So that's actually looking for dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss would be this one, just here. Oh, hello. Dollar Swiss. There we go. So dollar Swiss, okay, so there's a nice trade there it would have taken today, okay. You actually see we're in a trade actually at the moment on dollar Swiss. You can see the entry price and the stop loss here. So this is a different strategy I'm running. So we're looking at dollar Swiss on a 30-minute time frame. So we're just waiting for the results to come through of the back test. I've still got 2 bars on Wi-Fi, so it might take a little bit while now. But it shows you at the top here your status of the strategy draft. It'll either be draft, or it'll either be status running or status stopped. And in here you can put a strategy description as well. So you can actually put a little strategy description in here if you want to as well. So the whole thing is very intuitive. It's very simple to use, and it's such a great little product to give your trading a real edge, especially when on the next part, the final part of our series, Trading for Beginners, where you're going to be able to see exactly how the thing goes from beginning through to completion of a trade executing in the real market. So we're just waiting for this final result. This is on dollar Swiss, 30-minute time frame. So again, as you can see on here, it's a little bit sideways. Dollar Swiss, because they're 2 powerhouses in the currency markets, they tend to have a little bit of sideways movement, neutralizing each other, all hanging around that sort of parity mark, very close to parity. Look, 1.000. So it may not give us a strong result in either way, but we can see what it does when it comes out. I'm down to 1 bar on Wi-Fi now, so it might take a little bit longer, but I'm hoping you're getting a lot of information, a lot of valuable information, valuable advice on how the whole thing really comes to the actual trading side of things. As you can see, and I predicted, it's a minus 672 pips. So dollar Swiss is not really a conducive currency pair to trade this strategy on. There's your negative equity curve. There's your trading history. Okay, so you've got there's that winner there. That one there actually is the one probably we saw on the chart just now. Okay, which is this one here. Okay, it's probably that one there. So yeah, not really a good one. I would certainly not look at running that one live. So history of all the tests, of course, you can see now that we've got a whole history here of trades and tests, the strategies we've tested and what time frame, etc. You can click any one of these just to go back and revisit it, but that one there seems to be the favourite one, the euro dollar on the 30-minute time frame. and then you can basically set that to run live. But I'm going to do more of that later on the next video. So at the end of this video, there's going to be an email address and the website address where you can get hold of your own copy of this. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can do by clicking the bell notification just underneath this video, and where you can be notified of new videos we send out. We've got a lot of library of strategies, we've got a library of video, educational videos, and we've got now, next week will be the 6th and final part of Trading for Beginners. We get inquiries all day, every day from all over the world: Africa, Europe, UK, Australia, Asia, Middle East, and lots of people say, you know, are you able to get me started trading? So this is why we've created these Trading for Beginners videos. There's a lot of people out there that are experienced and experienced traders trading manually. So literally sitting and looking for opportunities, and there's a video on YouTube on our channel all about trading manually versus trading automated. So this really is a revolutionary piece of kit. I hope you've learned something watching this 5th part, and I hope you look forward to watching the 6th and final part next week, where we'll set some stuff running live and do a recap of everything we've learned. And I look forward to speaking to you all then. Please send us your feedback. Look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. My name is Mark Sapsford, co-founder of Trade Insights Limited, and thank you very much indeed. Bye for now.